Hello everyone, welcome to another video. And in this video we have 7 total Kingdom Mirror Cup practice battles. These battles were taken the night before my scheduled Kingdom Cup tournament, and I hadn't gotten any practice up to this point, so I really needed to get some practice in just to get a feel for the meta. But my Kingdom Cup ended up getting cancelled anyway, so that was kind of a bummer, but it was still fun to practice here. And we're going up against JDL 37 again. My team is Blaziken, Lapras, and Altaria, and I lead with a Blaziken. And then he leads with an Altaria, which is a pretty hard counter to Blaziken. So I don't want to stay in this battle. I get a little bit of energy charged up, which I should have probably just switched that right away. So I switched to Altaria to try to get the mirror match, hoping he wouldn't switch, but of course he has a Bastiodon in the back, so he switches to that, which is a very hard counter to Altaria. I get to the Dragon Pulse, miss a bubble there, but still get the excellent. Does barely scratches Bastiodon. It's so bulky and resists Dragon. And here I just decide I don't want to get another charge move off, just because I want to be able to farm his Bastiodon with my Blaziken when I come back in, so I wanted to have more health. So he's still switch locked since my Altaria went down pretty fast. I do have to burn a shield here, but of course with Blaziken you always want to burn a shield since it's quite glassy. So I'm able to take him down. Have probably 2 Blaze Kicks almost ready to fire off. So I go for the Blaze Kick right away. If he comes back in with Altaria, of course. And he's not going to shield here because Altaria resists pretty much all of Blaziken's moves. And unfortunately I'm not able to get a Blaze Kick off before he hits the Sky Attack. I don't want to shield it just because it's not really worth putting my last shield on it. So he comes in with... I come in with a Lapras, he switches immediately to Lucario. And then I get that first Surf off. Miss a bubble there. Still did excellent. He shields. And then at this point I burn a shield. He goes for the Power Punch. It's pretty much already GG at this point. I'm able to get one more Surf off before dying. Miss a bubble again. I was a little rusty here. And that's game 1. So lost that one pretty bad. But just getting a little warmed up at the beginning. Got the Stardust, got the Friendship increase. We're battling in Ultra League just to get that medal up. So here you can see my team. I have 2 Blazikens there. I was gonna try practicing with both. The 1500 CP was the one I originally used for Kingdom Cup back in April. And that one, or was it March or April? But that one has Brave Bird instead of Blast Burn. But in most cases, Brave Bird just it's not really worth it, because even with Blast Burn being resisted by the likes of Altaria and opposing Blaziken, it still has higher damage per energy than Brave Bird, so you do want that Community Day Blaziken with Blast Burn as well as Blaze Kick for the quick fire charge move. So yeah, I really didn't end up using the other Blaziken at all. So here I lead with Probopass, and then I have Marowak and what was the other thing in the back? Blaziken? So I lead with Probopass, he leads with Bronzong, which... so my Probopass has Magnet Bomb and Thunderbolt. In reality, I really want Rock Slide in this meta. I just forgot to TM it before doing these battles. And Thunderbolt, like in this matchup particularly, Thunderbolt does help Probopass, since Bronzong will resist both Magnet Bomb and Rock Slide, so This is like probably the one and only meta matchup where you'd want Thunderbolt, but in most cases it's better to have Magnet Bomb and Rock Slide. So there I expect him to switch, which is why I didn't fire off that charge move right away. He switches to Steelix and I switch out to Lucario right away. I get that first Power Punch boost. In reality I probably should have just used Power Punch but not charge it at all, just because that way if I would want to use it just to get that boost up, but I don't want to do too much damage just because there you see I take down his Steelix and don't have a charge move ready to go quite yet, whereas if I hadn't charged up that Power Punch I would have close to Shadow Ball ready here. Might have even had been able to bait with a Power Punch and then go with the Shadow Ball. Something to keep in mind. So here I am actually able to hit Power Punch and a Shadow Ball, so I might have been able to hit 2 Shadow Balls if I'd done that. But I'm at least able to get him to burn both his shields, and I'm up now 2 shields to 0. And then I come back in with Probopass. I go straight for the Magnet Bomb. So in this case, Probopass walls Altaria anyway, but if you're ever down, it would definitely be better to have Rock Slide. So he hits me with the Dragon Pulse, which barely does anything, and I try to farm up a little bit of energy, but he switches, trying to time it to absorb the Magnet Bomb from his Bronzong, but ended up taking it out anyway. I probably should have switched immediately to Alolan Marowak, but since I have 2 shield advantage here, didn't really make a difference. So I'm going to shield because I have 2 to burn still. And then I hit him with the Bone Club just because I wanted to get it over with quicker, but actually thought this might do more damage. But as you can see, Altaria is pretty bulky, and Bone Club is double resisted, so it barely does anything. But since I added that switch advantage, I was able to win anyway with a shield left. So that's game 2. Now on to game 3. So you can see here, so my Lapras has Dragon Pulse, so it's a legacy one. Water Gun, fortunately not Ice Shard. I did have Ice Shard Dragon Pulse Lapras, but I traded it away because I had terrible IVs, and we didn't have PvP yet at that time, so I didn't know if it would be good someday. And then you'll see, so here I go in with Altaria, Blaziken, and Lapras. And I lead with Altaria, and J-Dal leads with Lapras. So I'm thinking, okay, if this is Ice Shard, I want to switch out immediately, and it is Ice Shard, so I switch to Lapras just to mirror, hoping that he won't switch to something else. Hard counter. This is in my favor since Ice Shard is it does have a higher energy generation, but it does barely any damage, and I'm gonna resist the Surf. So he switches to Blaziken, which it's more or less an even matchup depending on shields. Counters will do quite a bit of damage, of course, but Blaziken will also take a lot of damage from Water Gun, even with shields up, to block these Surfs. And so he burns both of his shields, so he's able to take me down, but he does have a lot of energy built up, but I have 2 shields still, so I come with Altaria, which I know is going to resist fire. Shield just in case it's a Blast Burn, so I have 2 on the table anyway, and he's able to hit 2 Blaze Kicks, so I don't want to shield the second one since I'm pretty sure he doesn't have enough energy to get to a Blaze Kick and a Blast Burn. So I take him down with just Dragon Breaths, have a little bit of energy built up, get ready switches in case, but it's an Alolan Marowak, so I stay in, I go for the Sky Attack. This will do about half of his total health. A little less, because Marowak is pretty bulky. So here he switches, does a quick switch to Lapras, and then I hit him with the Sky Attack. Again, and then I think I switch out of this because I don't want Blaziken to have to finish against his Alolan Marowak. Shield the Surf, and then I'm able to take down his Lapras. And here I think he hits me with a Shadow Ball, which will hurt, but I'm able to just barely survive with like less than 10% of my health. And then you go for a Blaze Kick, and it's resisted, but his Marowak is low on health, so it should be enough. Just about enough to take him out. And that's game 3. Get 1,000 dust that time, which is nice. Every little bit helps when you gotta spend Stardust on unlocking second moves. And those things are expensive. Yeah, so here you see I have a Kingdra on my team as well. I don't think I use it here, but I do use it once in these practice battles. It has Waterfall in this case, just because Waterfall is more meta in the Kingdom Cup, because it's better against Marowak, Blaziken, Probopass, Bastiodon. Also will hurt Lucario a lot more, even with when it has shields. So here I go in with Alolan Marowak, Lucario, and Altaria. And then it's made me giggle a little bit. We both have an Alolan Marowak mirror match lead. Both are 1495 CP. So I go straight for the Bone Club, and I see that he has charge move priority, so I shield this first one. And then, yeah, so we tied to that charge move, he had priority. He's going to shield this as well. And then just make sure that he does indeed have priority. He does, and this time I don't shield because I don't want to burn both shields. And even though Bone Club is super effective, it doesn't hit that hard because Marowak is defensive. And also doesn't get stabbed, so I didn't shield there. Expected him to not shield just to match me. And here I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna under tap, which I did right there. So I stole priority, sort of. Put the pressure on him to either burn his last shield or lose his opening match. So he decides not to shield. Waiting for him to come in, expecting him to come in with a hard counter, so goes Altaria. I switch to mirror with my Altaria, and he switches out to Steelix right away. I go for the Dragon Pulse. And then so here, like earlier, I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to do too much damage to the Steelix, because I want to be able to farm it when I bring my Lucario back in. So I didn't do some damage, and then I'm not sure if he thought I was lagging or if he realized that I was trying to save Steelix to farm it. So he stopped attacking too, and then so I just attack him a little bit, just a bit, and then but by now the switch clock is kind of down. Come back in with Lucario, and then here I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to shield this crunch. For some reason, it's completely slipped my mind that it would have Earthquake too, so I get one hit KO there, and that's GG. There's a big mistake on my part. I just saved me with a clutch earlier in the previous game, so it was late. I was tired. Forgot that. Wasn't expecting the earthquake. Didn't realize that he had that much energy built up anyway. So I think at this point I've used just about everything except Kingdra. I think it's not this one, but the next battle where I bring Kingdra. So here I go with Altaria, Lucario, and Lapras. Leading with Altaria. And he leads with a Blaziken, so that's a good matchup for me. I think he's going to switch out. Or maybe not. Oh no, he doesn't. Okay, so here, decided to just take it. Hits me with the Blast Burn, which does a little less than half. I think I'm just going to farm him down with Dragon Breath, and he's able to get a Blaze Kick off just before fainting, so I do want to shield this because I have a lot of energy built up. It's okay that I'm low on health just because it means he won't be able to farm me and for energy later, so I'm expecting him to come with a hard counter to Altaria, so I get ready to switch right away. And then GD comes in with Probopass, so I switch to Lucario. And then he comes in with his Altaria, so there I didn't really do a good job of bluffing the Shadow Ball, so he's not going to shield here. And then I think here I decided to go... I do decide to shield here. And then... just because the Lapras in the back is bulky enough to probably not need a shield. Here I do bluff the Shadow Ball. I think I'm able to get him to shield just because he has... Oh, no, I'm not. But since I had that extra energy built up, I hit 2 power punches pretty much back to back. And I think I'm actually able to win this. Just barely. But he does still have 2 shields on the table. He comes in back in with Probopass, and I don't have any shields, so he's able to take me out. I think only taking 1 counter, which still does quite a lot of damage since it's it has 2 boosts. So I come with Lapras here, and I get ready to switch to absorb the charge move from his Probopass. So no, he won't be able to farm my Altaria with just Spark. Hit him with a Sky Attack. He's down to the last Pokemon, so kinda is forced to burn a shield there, even though it's resisted. Yeah. So here my Altaria is gonna go down. Then I come with Lapras. I have the advantage here, so I'm able to take him out with this last Surf. It probably would have worked out better if he had used a shield on Altaria, even though it resists Power Punch. He probably should have shielded that second one just to survive to win that matchup. And then he would, because he did have some energy built up that he could have used to put a dent in my Lapras. I came back in with that. And then here I think is the game where I go test out Kingdra, so it has Waterfall. So with Waterfall it's able to beat Blaziken, Marowak, I think even Probopass, and maybe Bastiodon, depending on shields, but Marowak, Blaziken, it could beat with just quick moves. It has the advantage against Water Gun Lapras, since it double resists Water Gun. But against Ice Shard Lapras, I think Ice Shard Lapras would probably win, since it has higher bulk and my shard charges energy faster. So here, I lead with a Lucario. He has Bastiodon, so of course he's gonna switch out immediately. He already switched. I mess up on the switch, which is okay because I just go for the Power Punch. He's forced to burn a shield since I have the energy advantage, and then I switch out ASAP, and I am able to absorb this Power Punch and save the shield with my Alolan Marowak. So he's going to come in with Altaria. I go straight for the Shadow Ball because I know even if he burns a shield here, I will be able to reach a second one, even since I have shields. So he does shield. Dragon, I will definitely be able to hit the Shadow Ball before it hits another Sky Attack, since Dragon Breath, it does a lot of damage, but it charges energy kind of slowly, not that fast, slower than Hex at least. So I'm able to hit a Shadow Ball, which is going to do about half, maybe a little less than half of Altaria's health. And then here he hits another Sky Attack. In reality, he probably could have just farmed me down with just Dragon Breaths and had energy to go. So here they're both negative matchups, and I definitely don't want to go with Kingdra since it's gonna die really quick. So I come with Lucario. Luckily, I'm able to get to Power Punch just before he could KO me. I'm able to beat his Altaria. Got some lag here, but I am able to get 2 counters off before fainting, which do a lot of damage. So here I come in with Kingdra. These Waterfalls, even though Bastiodon's pretty bulky, but these Waterfalls are still doing pretty good damage. I have a shield, so I think in reality the Stone Edge probably would not be enough to KO, but it would be pretty close, so play it safe. And then a shield, so and here I just need to get off the Outrage. Even though it's resisted, it'll be enough to KO. And that's game. And then, so that's where would have liked to test Kingdra a little bit more, especially with Blaziken and Alolan Marowak being like the 2 of the top picks outside of the ball core meta, which is Bastiodon or Probopass plus Altaria plus Lucario plus Lapras. That's like the core meta, and then Blaziken is a good counter to both Bastiodon and Lucario, and Marowak is a hard counter to Lucario. So Kingdra is a good counter to those 2 counters, so it's like a counter. So we might see more of that in Kingdom Mirror Cup. And here I go in with Probopass, Blaziken, and Alolan Marowak. So we saw this matchup before. I lead with Probopass, he leads with Bronzong. Here I wait a little bit just in case he tries to quick switch, and hit him with a Thunderbolt. Missed 1 bubble there, which did a little bit less damage, but in the end it actually ended up kind of working out in my favor that I missed that one, because I'm able to actually farm him down with Spark and have a Magnet Bomb ready to go for the incoming Pokemon. I'm not sure how it would be different depending on IVs. I do know. So my Probopass, the IVs on my Probopass are, I think, 7, 8, 15. And he didn't have Bulldoze on his Bronzong, but Bulldoze would probably be enough to nearly 1-hit KO Probopass. So yeah, I'm expecting him to come in with something that'll resist. So I switch immediately to Blaziken. He switches out, follows my switch to Altaria. I decide to just go for the Blast Burn since he probably won't shield anyway. And then yeah, I am able to get off the Blaze Kick just before he hits the Sky Attack. And he shields. And here I think I just let it go. I'm content because I got him to burn 1 shield. I'll take my 2 shield advantage. So I come back in with Probopass here. Hit him with a Magnet Bomb right away. He burns his final shield. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm able to get to 1 more Magnet Bomb just before fainting. I'm actually able to tie his Altaria here. And then I come in with Alolan Marowak. He has a Steelix. I have 2 shields, so it's a pretty big advantage for me. I shield a Crunch. I go for the Shadow Ball, which actually does more damage, even though Bone Club is super effective. It doesn't get stabbed, and it has a pretty low base power. I think only 50 or so. So when shields are down, it's better to hit with a Shadow Ball. Here, I decide not to shield just because I want to see how much damage Crunch will do. I know I'll be able to survive. Looks like it does a little bit less than half. So good games there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a better sense of how the Kingdom Cup meta plays out. It's a pretty restricted meta. There's those 4 core Pokemon, and then like not a lot to choose from for those last 2 wildcard spots. So not a lot of room to go off meta, but I think it's still a pretty fun meta. I think it's still pretty well balanced, even though it's pretty limited. So if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, because I'm going to be making more videos this month with all the Mirror Cup metas to test out, and as well as all the tournaments I'm going to be playing in. I'm doing a Rainbow Cup next weekend, so Rainbow Cup hasn't changed very much, so I may or may not post some practice videos, but then I'll definitely record my tournament and share that on here on my channel, and I'll be doing a Twilight Cup and a Regionals Cup and maybe a Tempest Cup later this month as well. So yeah, that's a lot of metas to test out and prepare for. So it's a fun and exciting time right now in Pokemon Go PvP. So I hope you guys will tune back in and join me. And until then, good luck hunting for Shiny Rayquaza.